I'm a huge fan of planning out a cruise, from what I want to do on board and what I want to do in the various ports that we go to. But recently, I've made plans on a cruise that totally backfired on me because I really didn't think about the big picture. Hey everyone, it's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. If you're like me and you've got a cruise coming up to the Caribbean, you're imagining a beautiful day in the Caribbean on an idyllic beach, enjoying the sun, surf, a drink in your hand. It sounds great, and it is. I'm not denying that. The issue is, I made a mistake that totally backfired on me, and it really taught me an important lesson. When I took my family on a 7-night cruise on Icon of the Seas earlier this year, we went on a cruise that visited 4 different ports. I like spending time in each of these ports on their own, and even have a few must-dos in each of those. However, 3 beach days in a row is not only a first world problem, it also felt like a missed opportunity. By the end of the cruise, we were totally beached out and felt like we overdid it. So our cruise went to 3 different ports, including Perfect Day at Coco Cay. There was Roatan, Costa Maya, and Cozumel. I booked 3 separate beach days, one at Turquoise Bay, one at Maya Chan, and one at Paradise Beach. Don't get me wrong, I had a good time at each of these beaches we visited. I did my research, they're great places. The issue was getting up early, getting everyone ready, and then getting to and from the beach. One of the top reasons I love to cruise are the places I visit, but I wish I'd mix up activities instead of just doing beach after beach after beach. After our 2nd day in a row of beach time, I think the reality began to sink in. It started with my kids asking what we had planned the next day because they were hoping for more time to sleep in and rest after 2 early days in a row. Now, ordinarily, I don't take my kids complaining about getting up early seriously at all, but I had to admit they might have had a point as I consider the ramifications of another early day. My wife and I started talking about it, and we realized that our plan made sense in a vacuum, but combining so many port days doing the same exact activity felt a bit tiresome. Not only would skipping a beach day have been a way to relax more, it also would have been perfect on a ship as impressive as Icon of the Seas. Royal Caribbean has so many great things to do on the ship, including some of the best pools on any ship. I love the Swim and Tonic bar because it's a swim-up bar, but I never got a chance to go in. The ship also has 6 different water slides as well. And something experienced cruisers do often is actually stay on board the ship while a ship is in port to take advantage of these fun things without big crowds. Those same pools and slides get crowded on sea days, and we only had 2 sea days on this entire itinerary. So in retrospect, we could have slept in, then hit the pools and water slides in the morning. But something else I really considered was doing something different from a beach. I could have skipped the beach in Cozumel and taken a taxi downtown for shopping or eating, or even tried an ATV tour in Roatan. I think mixing up activities is equally important to the rate of when you're on and off the ship. In thinking about this, I might have gotten off the ship in the morning with my wife and I to enjoy some time in Cozumel, get some food before coming back to the ship, take the kids to the pools and water slides. The other idea was to try something different on our first port stop of Roatan, so it wouldn't have been a beach right off the bat. In listening to this, my advice to anybody watching is to plan a Caribbean cruise in the future is to look at the itinerary in totality, not just in a silo. If variety is the spice of life, well, it applies to shore excursions as well. I didn't regret any single beach I visited, but just the combination in a short span of time added up quickly. While some people might actually love nothing but beach after beach after beach, don't forget to take into consideration wake-up times, prep time, and of course travel distances to and from the beach. This is especially important when you're cruising with kids or with Billy from CruiseHabit.com, as multiple early starts in a row take their toll, and that applies to aging adults too who enjoy late nights around the ship. If you're sailing on a big Royal Caribbean ship that has so many activities, it makes the decision to embrace skipping a port a really good idea. When we repeat this exact itinerary in November on Star of the Seas, I'm going to be sure to change plans ahead of time so we don't have that many beach days, while also taking advantage of what the ship has to offer. So now you're thinking, great, Matt, I'm not going to do just the same activity in each port I'm going to, but how do I find new activities, new ideas, because all I see is the same stuff everywhere? It's a great question. So I have some quick and easy tips for finding a great shore excursion on your own, certainly besides what you can see that's obvious. Number 1, and while this is technically a beach day, maybe you are interested in something more than just a plain beach, and that is a day pass to a resort. My go-to option if I'm looking for is time in the sun is definitely get a day pass to a resort. I go to resortforaday.com. It's by far the best resource to get a spot and to be able to enjoy not only access to a beach, but a pool, which I prefer quite frankly anyway, and food and drink and shade and service with it. Someone bringing you drinks rather than you have to get it yourself. For families, day passes are huge. And in a lot of cases, they have like real restaurants you can go to. So for picky eaters, it's great as you don't have to rely so much on local food, but also it gives you much more variety and also air conditioning at the same time. Number 2 are guided tours around the world. So TripAdvisor is a really excellent research option because it has lots of lists of things to do. And when you're searching for tours, I love finding some of these smaller crowd group tours because you can find direct options with the tour operators. Royal Caribbean offers guided tours. The problem with them is I find they're really large groups and they move very slowly. Viator, like TripAdvisor, allows you to book tours from independent tour operators and has a wide range of tour categories available. This includes art and culture, to classes and workshops, and even food and drink. You can really find a great tour option there. Many times, especially if you're going to Alaska or Europe, they offer pretty much the same exact tour the cruise line offers, but at a lower price and maybe even a smaller group. Another really great resource is Shore Excursion Group. While similar to TripAdvisor and Viator, Shore Excursion Group focuses solely on shore excursions for cruise ship passengers exclusively. Tours are offered all over the world, from the Caribbean to the Arabian Gulf and Asia, and Shore Excursion Group makes it easy to pick a tour that fits within your cruise ship itinerary because the tours are filtered by your ship's specific departure date and ports of call. There's no need to check your calendar or worry about accidentally booking the wrong day because Shore Excursion Group has all of Royal Caribbean's itineraries listed on their website. Something else I really like about them is they have several different types of tours: small group tours, private tours, scenic tours, cultural tours, city tours, and each type of tour comes with its own style, whether you're traveling to the glaciers in Alaska on a scenic tour or cycling through small towns in Europe on an active tour. And to be clear, I would never do a cycling tour. That doesn't seem like fun to me, but I know my video editor, Jenna, loves those kinds of things. Somewhere else I go for recommendations on what to do in port is from other cruisers, because online message boards are fantastic for finding out more useful information about when deciding what to do in port. Hearing other cruisers' opinions who have clearly been to this destination is really valuable, as they're able to offer their recommendations on what to do and not to do in a particular port. Now, we at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com have our own message boards and our own shore excursion board where you can ask questions to fellow cruisers and learn more about what each port of call has to offer. It's one thing to read someone else's experience, another to post your own, or at least, frame it like, we want to do this in this port, but we have this and this and this to contend with so people can understand better what you're looking for. If you're wondering if certain tour is worth it, or if you're trying to choose between two separate tours, odds are someone on the message boards has firsthand experience there. And when all else fails, this is what I start with, is go right to Google and type in the port name and tour, because sometimes it's just easier to do a shore excursion search on your own. If you're looking for something to do in, say, St. Martin, search St. Martin Tour on Google. You can customize it further by searching for St. Martin Tour kid-friendly if you're traveling with kids, or St. Martin Tour catamaran if you simply want to sail around the island. Google will come back with top-rated websites where you can book shore excursions and read reviews from those that have done the tour previously. It's really hard to go wrong with a Google search when researching shore excursions, and actually it's probably where I start with just to understand what's available for me. Hopefully, with all this information, you'll have a much better time than I did on my cruise. Not that I had a bad time, but I really regretted not expanding and mixing up what we did in the ports and also take advantage of what's available on the ship. Let me know in the comments below your shore excursion experiences and mistakes that you've made. And if you have advice for me on how I'm going to do it better on Star of the Seas, I would love to know that. And yes, I promise to go in the swim and sonic pool on Star. So help me anybody, I will be there. While you're down below our video, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching. This has been Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com, and we'll talk again real soon.